is I've got a feeder, which I've already added about a half a gallon of syrup, and a couple of blank frames. One's got a little bit of wax on it. And I've got a couple of more frames here that'll go in, but I'm leaving a couple of frames out to give myself plenty of room to work. Get the lid off. And I'm simply going to take them out one frame at a time, basically keeping the same order. A little smoke on them just to kind of keep the alarm pheromone in check. If they're stuck a little bit, I can get my hive tool, separate them a tiny bit, just enough to give myself some working room. Raise it up a little tiny bit and out. This is a food frame. It's got a lot of honey on this side. It's got a little growing room and a little bit of honey on this side. You've got nectar coming in. See some syrup on the hive tool there, or potentially some nectar from the wild. Little drone, a couple of drones. We got a little bit of breakage here where it was touching up against another frame. They're kind of tight in these boxes. It doesn't hurt anything. The bees will clean that right up. So I'm going to put this in next to the feeder on the outside. I guess I'll bring this over here and show what I'm getting out one by one. Next will be a brood frame. You can see we've got brood in various stages of development. Some capped brood here. This is capped honey up here. Might be too close to the camera, I'm not sure. Got some capped brood here in the middle, which is normal. Then you've got your food rainbow around the outside. Not worried about looking for the queen. If I see her, that's great. If I don't, no problem. Put this right in, right next to the other one. Then get me another one. This will be another brood frame. Plenty of brood here. There's backfilling the nest with some nectar, so they're bringing in plenty. We feed these splits when we make them, so they've got plenty of food to go to their new location. Next frame would be another brood frame. Plenty of brood here. Plenty of bees. Keep the brood warm tonight. If you'll notice the queen, she's right here. I don't know if how good this camera is going to show this, but got the queen here, nice golden Italian. You can tell how gentle these bees are. It's a trait of the Italians. And finally, one more food frame, which is rather heavy. Honey frames are going to weigh twice as much as a brood frame or more. It's got mostly honey. There's a little capped, uncapped mix of food. They've got plenty of groceries to get off to the start in their new location. So now, I've got 5 frames, and then the one blank, and I've got 2 more blank frames, so I'm going to push the first blank frame over, let's not crush the queen. We saw her, she's on the middle of the hive. I got a drone, wants to give me a ride. A little bit of wax on this one. This will be a good one to put next to the nest. So I'm going to put this in between the honey frame. Got some drawn comb. If it didn't have drawn comb, you could still do the same thing. You wouldn't have to. You can put them on the outside. Tomato, not everybody agrees. Someone didn't do it. Bees all agree they need room to grow. If they've got room to grow, they're happy. That's it. It's pretty simple. Now I've got 8 frames in a feeder. The feeder's not full. It doesn't need to be. I push everything over toward the feeder, get it snug, and then I want to push the feeder back towards the center a bit. to make sure there's not too much space between anything. Everything should have a nice even amount of space between it so the bees don't build a bunch of wax where they don't need to. The only place we want them to build wax is on the actual frames. And that's pretty much it. There's a few bees left down in the box. I take these little frame rests out. These bees that are in here, shake them out, bump them down, and they're done.